Welcome back to the D&D show. I'm your host, Drew, with my co-host Dre. Basketball is back, so we are starting our basketball season of the pods. We'll also go through the Premier League at the same time, and we'll do a little football as well. But obviously we're excited that basketball is back. It's my first love. It'll probably always be my favorite thing in the world is basketball. And but before we go any further, man, how you been, man? How's it going?
Blessed and highly favored, of course, man. Very, very, very busy, like always. Just, work, baby, dogs, cats. So yeah, everything, man. Everything. So just busy, but yeah, my days go fast, man. My days go
That's
fast. And
that's
I got
good.
a whole 3-month-old and it just feels like she just got here. So yeah, crazy. Crazy,
You
crazy.
getting any better at that?
Say what?
You getting any better at,
I
all
think,
that
I
that
think
goes
so,
with it?
bro. I think so. Stuff just feels like it's automatic. Like, oh, another diaper change. Oh, you need another bottle.
Hmm.
It's just, habit, like brushing your teeth kind of thing.
Hmm.
Just on it, and still finding some time here and there to still get outside and play, which is awesome. Like, just get outside and shoot a little bit, which is good for probably just my own like personal well-being. So yeah,
Yeah, your mental health. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I got you for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
That's what I use boxing for.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
So yes, same for me. Everything is good. I'm not no complaints. I still got a lot of things to figure out with my career and whatnot, but that will all, you know, be dealt with, at the appropriate time. That's God's time, not my time. So obviously I want God to speed it up, but He's giving me everything I got, so I'm not gonna complain.
Hmm.
I am excited for what happened with the Birds. We finally got a win after two losses. Jalen had a perfect passer rating game. He wasn't perfect in the game, even though he had a perfect passer rating. But that was great to see him shut up a lot of people. And Devontae and AJ got the yards and numbers that they deserved. Uh, so I'm very excited for that. But I was never worried. But we got a rematch with the Giants. We got to get some payback. So I'm excited for that. And obviously basketball's back, so I'm in a great mode. Boxing's great. Training really hard. I hope to fight next year. God willing. So that's it. All right. So we're gonna go into our teams. Dre's a Pistons fan. I'm a Lakers fan. We're going to our team's first games of the season, our opening night games, and then we'll do a little recap at the end of how the outlook of the season is going to be, how we think it will work out for our teams. All right, but yeah, go ahead with your Pistons.
Yeah,
Talk to me about.
yeah, odd perspective. I'm sure y'all don't hear from a lot of Pistons fans, but so not happy about opening night, but you got to remember it's the first game of the season, so you can't get too upset with your team. But my goodness, man, like we got the Thompson twin. I can never remember if it's Asar. I mean, I think it's Asar Thompson. We have
Hmm.
him who is supposed to be like our defensive stopper, and I think maybe he got into some early foul trouble.
Hmm.
But God, man, the name of the night is unfortunately Josh Giddey because this guy, like, basically I don't know if they have another point guard, but he's basically playing point guard for them. And every possession that he got the ball, he literally just ran up the court, got a paint touch, and got them an excellent shot. Now, a good shot is a contested shot, like, got hand in the face, got a couple space. Every time he ran down the court and got into the paint, they got a great shot. And it was ridiculous. Like, we couldn't do anything to stop him. And I'm like, I don't know if we need to full court press him. I don't know if we need to play a little bit of zone to get him out of rhythm. But dude absolutely dominated this game from the first to the fourth quarter. And it was all because he was just getting paint touches off the dribble, which I didn't realize his handle was that nice. His handle was actually really nice this game. Like, he actually didn't score off of this, but he hit Cade, I think, with like the smoothest behind the back I've seen in a long time. I was like, what the heck is going on with this kid? And every once in a while he looked out of control, but then he would gain control back and pass it to like Vucevic for a three, and the three would be wide open. No one would be near this guy, and of course he'll knock it down. And they had a bunch of fringe players that I actually spoke to one of my friends. I'm like, dang, there's a lot more white people in the NBA. Because I'm like,
What was that? White Americans?
yeah, I'm like, I don't know where they came from, but I'm like, the Bulls got a couple and they just hitting shots. And I'm like, what is going on? I don't even know these guys. Like, this ain't Tyler Hero. And they out there playing, they out there hooping, you know?
Hmm.
So yeah, so I'm watching this game and I'm just like, bro, this is not the same team that we had last year that we were in the playoffs or we had our little playoff, not even a run because we got knocked out, but we had a couple good games in the playoffs. And
Hmm.
obviously the biggest difference is we don't have Beasley, who was a solid defender and a good three-point shooter. And I think he made a really big like impact on our team.
Yep.
So to
Stretch the floor,
Yep,
and can
stretch the
defend.
floor.
Yep.
Exactly. So three and D guys. So of course, like to make up for the 3-point shooting, we brought in Duncan Robinson. But if you know Duncan Robinson, like on the other end, he's not effective.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. He's a cone. He's a
you
cone. He's
notice.
a cone drill. Yeah. He's a
So
cone.
yeah, so we're
Hmm.
watch. So as I'm watching this game, like I don't think Cade had the best night defensively. You can't count on Duncan Robinson to have the best night defensively.
So Cade was
So
on Giddy. They had him
on,
guarding Giddy.
on some
That was the
possessions,
matchup.
yeah, on some possessions, quite a bit of possessions, he was guarding Giddy, and Giddy was just it. I think it's just because he almost played like Westbrook used to play, where it's like, all right, I'm gonna go full speed into the paint and make y'all make a decision, and if
Hmm.
someone comes to help, that's fine. I'm great at finding an open guy, which he did all night.
Hmm.
Um, if no one comes to help, I'm good with the dribble and I'm good with my pump fakes and everything. I can get to the line or I can get a bucket. And that's what Giddy was doing. And I won't even tell you his numbers because I don't remember, but he absolutely dominated this game. Like, absolutely dominated it from start to finish.
19 and 11 and 5. 19, 11 and 5.
Yeah, which if you look at that, it's not numbers like blowing off the stat sheet, but if you watch that game,
29 minutes.
it
That's
was
yeah.
it
So
was all Giddy, bro. It was all Giddy the whole game. So that was my take on the night. Like I think offensively, we got a lot of work to do. We obviously struggled because our best player didn't shoot well from the field. Like I think any night, unfortunately, like with the way this roster's built, I think any night Cade doesn't shoot well, like it's not going to be great for us. And I don't want to
hmm
overreact off of the first game, but
one game, right?
yeah, off one game. But goodness, man, like Dennis Schroeder looked a lot better. Obviously, he had way more time to gel with the team, but Dennis Schroeder looked a lot better than Karis LeVert um, did. Karis LeVert was okay, but he didn't look like he got after it defensively like Dennis Schroeder. And Schroeder also was, I don't know, I feel like he was just really good at like hunting down his shots last year too. So it's gonna take time to figure out if Karis LeVert like replaces that impact that Schroeder had, and then it's gonna take time.
Different players. So
Exactly, but then
very
it's
different
also
players.
gonna take time to see if Duncan Robinson can make the same impact Beasley had. So like they're gonna need some time, but I think, and I also think the biggest thing is like Karis LeVert. I feel like is not like a second point guard like Dennis Schroeder was that can give Kate a spell like, hey, you ain't gotta handle the ball, you come off screens, like we can work on getting you a shot. I don't think we had that player last night. So I think that's part of the reason Cade struggled from the field is because like he had to handle the point guard responsibilities when Thompson was either out of the game because of foul trouble or just out because rotation. He had to guard Giddy. So I don't want to make excuses. Like you're a star, you got to get it done. But
Right.
I do think like this was a tough game for him because Giddy was going at him, and he also, at least last night, didn't look like he got a spell from point guard. Like he didn't get a whole lot of rest, and when he was in there, like he was bringing the ball up the floor pretty consistently. So so yeah, tough night for the Pistons. But like I said, it's one game. We gotta figure something out offensively, and I guess I'll have to look back and see or look forward and see if the Bulls are really just good defensively or we were just bad offensively. Because to me, it just looked like we were bad offensively, but it could just be that time players need time to gel because
To gel,
we got
right?
new players. We got new players, and it's mainly those people that I mentioned, Duncan Robinson and uh, Karis LeVert, that are kind of new. They got to kind of figure out how to play with Cade and whatnot. But yeah, man, it didn't. We didn't look like a threat like we did last year in the playoffs, where I was like, we literally almost took down the Knicks. We were like a game or two away from taking out the Knicks. You know what I mean? Like this
Right.
didn't look like that team at all. So hopefully next game they can step it up because this game was not pretty. It's pretty much all I got about that. Josh Giddey, props to you, bro. I'm gonna keep up with your stats because you absolutely killed us on the night. And if you're that good, then yeah, you need to be getting MVP shouts because yeah, he was killing us. Like he was killing us, man.
It's unlikely he keeps that up, but yeah, he's a good player. He's a point forward. I guess they like, got him listed as a guard, but
Yeah,
yeah, he can play for sure. He
he's
can play.
absolutely hooped that night, man,
Um,
killing us.
all right, all right. So my Lakers, we played the Warriors opening night, and this was a very interesting game. Um, to me, it was more like a put stuff on tape type of game because, as many people know, LeBron is out with sciatica or something. I think it was called.
Mm.
He's going to be out until mid-November or so. So it's going to be the team is going to struggle without our second best player, especially because he kind of keeps everybody in their spots. Um, we
Cra-
basically started. Go ahead.
Crazy to say LeBron's second best player, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. This is definitely Luca's team. Yeah, but LeBron, he kind of keeps everybody in their positions, and so that we don't have to play small. And when he's not there, we have to play small, which is what JJ decided to do. I think he did it for too long in this game. He, I would say, let's just call out a few players first. Rui Hachimura had a rough night, but I don't expect that to continue. He's going to knock down shots. He's a good offensive player, and he's got good size, and he works hard on defense. I expect him to have a great year. I don't care about one game. One game's going to change my opinion of Rui. So, but Rui's going to have a he's gonna improve throughout the season. He's going to figure out what his spots. DeAndre Ayton was awful. I've never been a fan of DeAndre Ayton, but because we got him, I had to accept that and hope for the best. But I just don't. He doesn't move very well, so you can't really switch with him, and he doesn't hedge or have the effort to be up there, at the line of the screen or the pick. So a lot of times he's out of position and he's trying to basically protecting the paint, but he's not much of a shot blocker. So it's like he's just a big body out there hoping for misses so they can grab rebounds. I understand he's a double double guy, so that's why he's averaged double double his whole career. But we need somebody that can actually affect shots. I think that Rick JJ played him too much. He should have went with Hayes after he saw that Aid didn't have it. Especially offensively, he didn't have it, so there was really no reason to have him on the floor as long as JJ did. Luca was awesome. Luca's a superstar. He's amazing. Uh, everything was difficult though. You can tell that the whole fitness thing, all of that, sure, it did look great and all that, but he did not. He looks pretty much the same as he did last year. He still looks slow. He looks like he got fatigued pretty quickly. Um, I don't think he's in the shape he needs to be, what he needs to be for this team. He's still a bad defender. Uh, and I'll give you an example. You know how Curry at the beginning of his career, that was his thing. Like everybody was like, he can't defend and all this stuff.
Go at him. Yeah.
Curry got bigger and stronger and was turned himself into a good defender. He's just not a lockdown defender. But we need Luca to be a good defender, he cannot be a liability, which is what he is right now. He still is a liability. I mean, I know he lost the weight. I mean, he probably needs to lose a little bit more weight because he's not moving as quickly as he needs to move. So, but he had 43. He had 9 assists, 12 rebounds. So he did a lot. He balled out. He's gonna be able to hit shots, but he's kind of got this Dirk feel to him, where it's like you got to build this team around him that can defend, and that's super hard to do when your best player can't defend. You have to have that perfect roster, like the Mavs had in 2011, or
Literally perfect, bro.
you
Literally
know.
perfect. The closest thing, like, I mean, that Mavs roster was stupid because literally Dirk can stand at the elbow and no one can double him because Terry's over here in the corner. And
Mhm.
who else was on that team, man?
Karan Butler,
I wanted to say Butler, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, Butler's on.
Jason Kidd,
He had Stevenson, I think it was too.
Deshaun
Also,
Stevenson. Yep.
like just had the perfect roster. Like reminds me of the Pistons back in the day, but that's another story. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
perfect.
They had a yeah. They had. You have to have those wing players that can guard. We do have Vanderbilt that can do that, and we have Marcus Smart that can do that. But Marcus, I gotta talk about Marcus right now. Marcus looks Marcus looks out of shape, um, and kind of overweight. He needs to be able to move and guards. Because we already have Austin and Luca, who are liabilities on the perimeter. You can't our lockdown defender actually has to be a lockdown defender. He can't be a guard that can defend, up a position to,
Yeah,
like, forwards and bigs. We
I
need
feel
him to
like
be able to guard
Smart's.
down.
I feel like Smart's been like that for a little while now. You know what I mean? Like he's just
Yes,
been not like the guy that just can move his feet really well, but just so strong that
right.
you put him on a three or a four, like you'll be all right. You know what I mean? And he's like
Yeah,
quick enough to stay with guards, but it's like you don't want to put him on John Morant type stuff. You know what I mean? I don't
right.
know.
Which, yeah, that's true, and we need him to be Lou Dort, and
He's
he's
not.
more like I mean, who's a guard defender that just he's gonna be a frustrating player to watch this year because his attitude is great. Like his demeanor on the court and his nonchalant, like not nonchalant, but his like I don't give a what attitude, and you need to do this and do his leadership. That's going to be helpful. But when you're not a lockdown defender, it's a lot harder to get that message across to your teammates. Do this and that
They
when
need
you
to
getting
defend when you're
cooked.
not doing it. Yeah.
So
Bro, you just got 20 dropped on you like in a quarter. So, and you want to tell me how to defend? Okay, yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah, and our only option right now is Vanderbilt. But Vanderbilt's such a terrible offensive player that he's
mm,
almost unplayable.
mm.
He has to be able to hit a spot up three, or you can't play him.
Yeah, because he is
You can
destroys your
you can play him
spacing.
in yeah, he destroys spacing. You can play him in the short corner, but he's also not a good finisher. So
Mm.
it's like you have to have something
That's
offensively
how,
that you can consistently, you know,
yeah.
take advantage of if you're going to be on the floor.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's how we get Thompson on the floor so often. He plays in that like dunker role since
right,
he can't
but
shoot. And it's like,
crazy athlete.
yeah, but if we get you the ball on that baseline, like you're getting a bucket. You know what I mean? If the
Yeah,
help
yeah, he can.
comes, you're getting a bucket. So like
Yeah, yeah,
we can live with you not being able to shoot if help comes and you can just rim run basically, you know? So yeah,
yeah. Yep, exactly. So
crazy.
we kind of need him to be more like that kind of player, but
Yeah.
he's been in the league for a long time. I don't think he's gonna all of a sudden become, a knock 37, 38, 3-point shooter. So we have to figure out a way to use him kind of like the way the Warriors use Draymond,
Yeah.
where he's on the perimeter setting screens. Um, but
Bro, Draymond, so I mean, I don't
even Draymond hits threes. Like
yeah,
even
I
like the other
haven't
night, Draymond
I
was
was gonna
hitting
say I haven't
threes.
seen Vanderbilt, but like Draymond has actually got like a really good skill set for that type of position. You know what I mean? Because he can find
Right.
people. Like
hmm
his shot is not always consistent, but like he's a great passer. You know?
hmm
So
Yeah. And Vanderbilt's a good passer. He's just not a great passer. So,
Okay.
you got to kind of be elite
Yeah.
at something offensively, or it's hard to play a guy.
Mhm.
Not in this NBA. If this was 90s basketball, he would you be able to play him all day long.
Mhm.
But it's just hard to play a guy like that. And so Gabe Vincent also started this game. He was awful, but we had him guarding Jimmy Butler. So it's like, what do you expect him to do? He's gonna get
He was
cooked.
gonna get cooked, yeah.
Like
It's like
that's some crazy
that's
size
just not
difference.
a yeah, that's not a good matchup at all.
That
Like
doesn't make any
set him up
sense. So
set him up for failure from the
I
start. And
think this one was on JJ.
JJ was
This
like, "Oh yeah,
game,
you used to play with Jimmy, bro. You can guard him."
nah,
Yeah.
yeah, nah, yeah, that was so. Let's see. What my last final thoughts on this game? We did kind of make it close at the end. We were in it from at the very beginning, I guess, or so. But the Warriors are legit, and you can see from last night's game that they pretty much cemented that they are the real deal. And Steph Curry is back. He never left, but it looks like he's about as healthy as he's been in years, and he's gonna continue to dominate. It looks like he's on a mission this year. So not too worried about losing to the Warriors because they're a good team, but I think there's a lot of things that are gonna have to happen this year, and we're gonna probably have to make another move.
You can say the same thing about the Bulls, bro. Not worried about that. They're a good team. No stress.
Yeah, no, no, not at all. That's completely different. Completely different. The Bulls are trash, and they're gonna be trash this year. Pistons should have played better. But my Lakers, of course, I'll give them that excuse. The Warriors are a contending team, and we should be better. Especially if we have a top three player in the league, in my opinion. It's kind of hard to say that right now with SGA and Jokic out there and some other guys out there, but
We're talking about the
I mean.
undefeated Bulls here, though, bro. Like, we haven't lost a game, so
Yeah, 82 games, the truth gonna come out about everybody. There's gonna be no lies. Eventually, the truth will come out about every team in the league.
mhm.
Uh, that's kind of pretty much all I had to say about the Lakers. I think we're gonna be fine. We cannot overreact. We're not gonna be good until LeBron gets back. Um, so we got to figure out a way to win some games. We play Minnesota in an hour or so, hour and a half or so. So
Dang, you out here
I'm
waiting on
hoping.
LeBron to get back. I'm out here waiting on Jaden Ivey to get back. So yeah, levels to
Yeah.
this, bro. There's levels to this basketball. There's levels.
At least y'all in the East. Y'all in the East, so a lot less great teams in the East. So you guys can figure it out. And K's not going to play like that again. That's just not likely. So I would expect you guys to look a lot better, especially when you guys are a younger team, youngish, I guess, team. So your outlook on the Pistons, I would say, I guess, yeah, let's go into that now.
Yeah, I mean, I looked obviously after this game, I was like, well, dang, what was our record last year? And we were only a couple games over 500. So I'm like, we lose to the Bulls, it is what it is. Like it's the East, like you said. Like we can turn this around. We can turn this around and win three or four in a row. So I'm not worried about like making the playoffs. I'm just worried like how far this team can go because I don't think the two additions that we made are as good as the two players that we lost.
Yeah, I don't
I
think you
don't,
guys got
I don't,
better.
I don't think, yeah, I don't think as a like plus minus guy that shoot, man, that Duncan Robinson is going to be better than Beasley. And same thing about Dennis Schroeder and Karis LeVert. Like I liked Karis LeVert as a player, but after watching what Dennis Schroeder did for the Pistons last year, like I don't know if Karis LeVert is gonna have a better impact than um, Dennis Schroeder did.
If this is
Maybe,
Brooklyn,
but then
Brooklyn
it's
Karis LeVert was a baller. I don't know
yeah,
what happened to that guy.
he was, but that guy didn't show up in the Pistons. He did have a couple good possessions where I was like, okay, maybe he's got a little bit, but I think. maybe those moves are made because Ivy is close to coming back. I have to look more into that. And maybe Ivy is that missing piece, and I can just shut up and be like, yeah, Duncan Robinson and Karis LeVert are taking up the minutes that Ivy's out
Okay.
when he's actually back. So I guess that's what I'm waiting to see is like, does Ivy come back and just absolutely kills it, and we don't have to worry about those two, or are we rolling with these two getting a decent amount of minutes and they got to learn how to contribute, like they just got to learn how to play with the team kind of thing. Um,
Right.
so yeah, we'll see, man, we'll see. But defensively, like last night, like that was not a playoff team. So we might make the playoffs, but wouldn't be surprised if we got there and got swept because yeah, that was not a good performance defensively.
Yeah, well, you want a better seed, so you guys gonna have to turn it up for sure. For sure. Um, the Lakers outlook, we're gonna be fine. Like I said, there is this one aspect that I would like to discuss with you defensively. So there's a lot of teams out there that do a lot of switching, and that's their answer to the pick and rolls or off ball screens. But the problem with that is that teams that have decent sized wing players that can punish guards, undersized guards, you basically have to double after a switch and give up an open three, which is not good defense. So basically, what you need to do is find a way to when that guy sets a screen on the guy when they send the player that they're trying to attack, the screener comes and you guys want to switch. If you even if you switch and they start rolling to the basket, that person, that guard, like the Warriors do, that guard needs to go find another smaller like player, and then some other a bigger player, a bigger forward needs to take his guy. So they need to switch on the roll. You can't just otherwise you're going to be stuck with a smaller guy, and a bigger guy. You know what I mean, Dre?
Yeah,
So
yeah. So that
and the Warriors do this great. They're great at
I,
this. We have to do this with Luca and with Austin.
I'm glad you brought that up because yeah, I saw a little clip of how Draymond and Steph basically like corrected the way they were defending a pick and roll so they couldn't pick on Curry. Like they would
Right,
almost like switch ahead of time, and I was like, that is freaking brilliant. And it ended up being like Draymond guarding Luca because of how they switched it up instead of
right.
like Luca going against Curry. And I'm like, God dang, man, like that is some high level basketball. And it's
Steve
impressive.
Kerr's a great coach.
And it's
Great coach.
impressive, like it's impressive how they got on top of that. And I'm like, I don't know how much of it's Steve Kerr and how much of it's Draymond, because you know Draymond, like he's elite when it comes to defense, like in scheme
Yeah,
stuff like that. That's
but
where
you saw
he's made
other
his
players
money.
doing it.
Yeah,
hmm
that's true.
You
That's
saw there are other players doing it.
so
So
it had to be coached.
Doris Burke called this out because who's their wing player that just got re-signed? Kaminga. Kaminga did it in the game where Curry was rolling with a big guy that he switched on to, and Kaminga went and took him and then pointed Curry to the guy he was guarding. So you can that's when you do it off the ball after the pick. What you're talking about is the pre-switch, which is another advanced level of guarding where you see that they're trying to bring Curry's man to set that screen.
Mhm.
You pre-switch.
They
Curry
switched it
goes and
before.
switches before the screen even happens, and then you can do that. But if they're good with their overhead pass or they can make the swing, they can punish you for doing stuff like that. But you have two options there. You have multiple options. You can ice screens as well. You can just say no screen, and you're just gonna have to throw the ball to the rolling guy, and he's gonna have to make a 3-on-2 type of. You can put him in that situation
Yep.
and just not give up the screen at all, or you can pre-switch, or you can switch during the roll. And the Warriors are great at doing all of those things. And I think that JJ Redick has to develop or include that in our arsenal on defense because switching, we are not a switching team. We cannot be a switching team. We don't have the personnel. If you're gonna have Luca and Austin Reeves on your team, you can't be a switching team. You can't. And I love Austin. He's my guy. I love Luca. Obviously, he's a great player. You know, but you can't have a switching team.
You're gonna
Uh,
get eaten alive at the pick and roll. Yeah, this is my okay, so we we gave the Knicks everything we could like last year and just about knocked them out, right? Um my thoughts with the Knicks, and I don't know how Brown's going to fix this, but my thoughts with the Knicks is if you get Brunson and Towns in a pick and roll, neither one of them are good defenders. So you're eating all night off of a
right.
Brunson and Town pick and roll. And
Hmm.
that's my thought is like I don't think either one of them are as crafty or as intelligent on defense as like Draymond Green and Curry. You like you said, like Curry is
Not
working
even close.
time. So that's my thing with the Knicks is like, okay, y'all could score a lot of points like y'all did the other night, but at the end of the day, like if we get Brunson and Towns in a pick and roll, like we're eating because Towns don't move his feet well, neither does Brunson. So that's one of those things, and it's just like you mentioning Luca and Austin Reeves, like you get people that don't move their feet too well in a pick and roll, and it's like it's trouble, man. It's trouble. You're getting buckets. You're drawing fouls. Like you're causing all kinds of chaos. So yeah, the pick and roll in basketball is ridiculous. But you did bring up
Yeah.
some schemes like defensively that, especially like the pre-switching, that I didn't even realize people did. So it's pretty cool, like how many different ways people try to defend against
Yeah,
it.
and you can go with the zone look as well, where
Yeah.
you just don't even bother with the screen. I'm just gonna sit in the zone. Once
So
you
what?
call
We're
the
in the
screen
zone.
out, we're gonna go to zone. So there's options. Whatever we were doing yesterday, that wasn't an option. So we need or not. Is it yesterday or whatever that day was? The
Mm,
day before yesterday.
yeah.
That's not gonna work. So you gotta do something else.
I wish we would have played a little bit
With or
more
without LeBron.
tonight, just in general,
Yeah.
to stop because the Bulls weren't even running like an impressive offense, bro. Like it's so sad that like we didn't even get beat by a team that just drew up some plays and ran good offense. Like Giddy just ran down the court, got into the paint and got them an excellent shot. Like it's crazy, crazy, but whatever.
Yep.
One night,
Yep.
one night.
Anyway, I'm not going to get too much into a rant on scheme this early in the season, but we're going to talk about scheme probably every podcast we do basketball because we love hoops.
Yeah.
Um, but I'll stop it there. Um, you know, very excited that basketball is back, bro. It's this is with everything going on in my life and everybody all of our lives, we need this. We need basketball back in our lives. So football's good for me right now, but I need my lake show. So. Anyway, any final thoughts? You good, bro?
Yeah, all good, all good. I'm gonna try to keep up
All
with
right.
my boys and hope they can win some games.
We will be back next week to discuss two Premier League games, and
Hmm.
then we might do another basketball pod. We'll see how the schedule works out. We're very busy people. So, all right, my dude.
Take care.
All right. All right,
One.
bro. See you. One.